guys? Thanks so much for clicking on my channel. Well, all smiles over here. I am Will Sanja, just like asking a question. Will Sanja help you keep your smile for today? And hopefully the answer is yes, you guys. I'm trying not to keep it long, but y'all already know. If it gets good, I'm gonna keep on talking. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. To go to nugget today is, did God forget? But before I get to running my mouth, let's go and do what? Check out this manifestation jar, and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay? I pulled out one, and that one says, "What aligned friends?" And we'll take that all day long. Yes, we will. Listen, are you over there thinking or asking a question? Did God forget? God, did you forget? God, did you forget what you promised me? Did you forget about that? God, did you forget about the prayer I prayed to you? God, I've been staying aligned and connected, but it seems like ain't nothing changing over here. The physical eyes are still showing me all this crazy stuff, and my physical ears are still letting me hear all these crazy conversations and whatnot, and the folks of the field still trying to jump on my back to try to get me to feel a certain way, but I'm staying aligned and connected, and I know the best is yet to come. However, God, I've been waiting for a minute now, and I just want to know, did you forget? I'm here to remind you that God did not forget. In God's perfect timing. You just gotta what? Stick in there. Stand firm. Listen, it's coming. God knows the perfect opportune time to get you to your manifestation. And a lot of times when we are anxious for something, then that will cause you to think that it's not come on time. God says what? Be anxious for nothing. For nothing. So if you find yourself anxious over there, then you know that's not the work of God. That's your mind, body, and ego trying to get you to feel like God has what? Forgotten about you, and He hasn't. Whatever God has promised you, whether it was in the past or even now, maybe it's been 5 years or 10 years, let me tell you what. If you stay aligned and connected, keeping your feet firm to God's word, it is going to come to pass. See, a lot of times we forget when God gives us a word of a promise or whatnot, we think that thing's supposed to happen right away. And it's not the case. I've had a lot of things spoken to me. I've had God speak some things to me personally, okay? And I was thinking, it's going to happen right now. Oh, it's going to happen right now. It's going to happen this year. Yeah, this year that's happening. And you know what? Down the line, when I say down the line, I mean years down the line. That's when things blossom and open up. But you know what I was doing? I was trying to make it happen. Whenever I would get the promises of God spoken to me and whatnot, I would try to make it happen. I move in that direction. I said, well, God did say I was going to be doing this, so let me move in that direction. But see, you have to be in the timing of God. Our ways are not God's ways. Our timing is not God's timing. So if you over there asking the question, did God forget? The answer is no. The thing is, you got to be patiently waiting. Remember I did the golden nugget? How are you waiting? Wait with somewhat patience. Which means what? Within that patience, be thankful, be grateful. Stop expecting it to come right now. Because your now may not be God's now. Now, if you waiting on it to come right now as far as God's now, that's a whole different story. But if you're talking about your now, you're going to find yourself asking that question all the time. God, did you forget? He has not forgotten. God waits till you grow and expand in areas, and when He sees that you're ready for that promise that He promised you, whichever one it is, He'll then what? Bless you with it. He'll then allow that thing to flourish for you. But in the meantime, in between time, just stay grateful. Just stay thankful. Just stay focused on God. Not on the promise, on God. That's what we forget too. I'm almost at 4 minutes. But a lot of times when God speaks things to us concerning promises, we're so in tune to the promise to where we take our eyes off of God. No, you can't do that. See, this is what you do. You keep your eyes on God, staying aligned and connected, keeping that seek on fleet, praying, meditating, fasting, thinking positive, thinking possible, keeping your what? Your eye on God. In other words, He's still leading. Then the promises are still there. They are going to come regardless. But while in between you're waiting, because you'll keep your eyes on God, in between the time of you not having that promise, God is going to place some other things in there to occupy your time. It may not be the promise, but it's going to be little jewels that you'll get along the way. So a lot of times y'all are missing your jewels along the way to get the promise, and you are looking over and stepping over a blessing trying to get another blessing. You can't do that. Get all the jewels, all the blessings that's coming up in your life until you get the promise. Does that make any sense? So stop stepping over a blessing to get to a blessing. Some of y'all are so in tune to the promise, like I said, to manifest a certain particular thing, to where you are forgetting that God just blessed you with this and you ain't even noticed it because it's not that promise. Stay focused. Stay focused. And remember, God is not forgotten. It's in His opportune, perfect time. It's in His timing. So whatever you're thinking that you need, oh, I need the promise right now. What if God had never told you about that promise? What if? Would you be looking for it? Of course not. What if God never put that promise within you to think about, that manifestation to think about? Would you be expecting it? Exactly. No, you would not. So this is just extra bonus stuff that you're getting. So keep your eyes focused on God. Stay in a line and connected. Get the jewels and the extra blessings along the way. And before you know it, you will indeed receive that promise or promises that God has spoken into your life and those manifestations, okay? He has not forgotten. Stop being anxious. Don't be anxious. Don't be anxious. Because when you're anxious about something, that has a sense of symptoms of uncertainty. So don't be anxious, okay? Don't be anxious. Everything is working out for your good. Matter of fact, it's already worked out. You're going to receive every single promise that God has promised you. Y'all know I did a golden nugget. I showed a video to y'all about the rainbow. God will not return His word when He gives you a promise. That rainbow is a symbol. Every time you see the rainbow, you say, okay, God, you remember. Thank you. I appreciate it. He has not forgotten, and He will never forget. He will never forget. You won't forget like you forget to pray sometimes. I'm sorry. No, I ain't. Listen, if you forgot to pray, if you've been forgetting to spend time with God, then don't you dare primp your mouth up to say, oh, God, did you forget? And you know you've been forgetting to spend time with Him. That's a whole other thing. That'll give you something to think about, right? Now you know that God is still merciful. Even though you forgetting about Him, He's still keeping His promise. Oh, don't cry, girl. Do not cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Because that make me feel a little certain kind of way. Because that's a little selfish, right? So now we need to ask God, God, take that selfishness away from, that entitlement away from me. Take it away from me, God. I'm asking, did you forget my promise? And here I am, I forgot to pray. Here I am, have forgotten to be thankful. I've been forgetting to be grateful. Been forgetting to spend time with you. I've been doing everything else, and I just forget about you. And then I'm forgetting all about you. And then I come to you and ask you, did you forget about me? Don't that sound like somebody who hadn't talked to you in a long time on the phone? And they say, yeah, you hadn't called me. And you had the same thought in your head like, what a minute, she said, I hadn't called her, she got an attitude. Or he say, I hadn't called him and he got an attitude. The phone works both ways. The phone works both ways. And that's what God is saying. But God is, thank God that God is not. I'm so grateful that God is not human. He's not a man. No, it's not. Because even though we forget about Him, oh, I'm almost at, y'all, it's getting good. Even though we forget about Him, He still keeps His end of the deal. Which means what? He doesn't forget. And He always comes through. So the next time you primp your mouth up or your thought up, which is what? That mind, body, and ego. When you ask God, did you forget about me? Did you forget what you said? Did you forget the promise? The answer is no. He's not a forgetful God. Never. He knows you by name. He knows your hair count on your head. He knows your hair count on your body. He knows everything about you. Shucks, He created you. So He knows the plans that He has for your life. He does. Therefore, He's going to fulfill it. He's going to fulfill it. Everything He's promised you, He has fulfilled it. So listen, did God forget about you? He did not. So what you need to do today? Like I have to tell myself, what do I have to do today? Make sure I stay aligned and connected. Make sure I spend time with God. Make sure I'm being grateful, I'm being thankful, I'm thinking positive, right? Make sure I'm not being over here entitled, like, God, you said this and you said that. You going to do it for me or not? No, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to stay in the grateful mode. We're going to stay aligned and connected. And we are going to start to remember God. Remember God. Okay? Y'all get it, got it good. He ain't forget about you. And like He ain't forgetting about you, don't you forget about Him. All right, y'all. I hope y'all got this thing. But if you didn't, rewind and watch again. But in the meantime, in between time, you take just a little bit of what I'm telling you and apply to your life to the best of your ability. You won't ever have the mask of smile. Why? Because your smiles will always be genuine. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed, be blessed, stay blessed. God did not forget about you, and he never will. Therefore, make an effort to not forget about him. Spend some time with him. Y'all know what's coming next. Ciao.